This morning, we're gonna find out just how overweight we are.
We're hoping to not be overweight.
But talking to the people at SmartWeigh, there's a 85% chance, I believe, that we're overweight, over 33,000 vehicles weighed. So we're just gonna see what happens. The statistic I just gave was based on a presentation that Nick and I attended at the Escapee's Bash earlier this year. So probably not your best source of information, but I did reach out to RVSEF, which is the Recreation Vehicle Safety Education Foundation. They're a nonprofit that provides safety guidance and information to RV manufacturers. They have record of over 38,000 vehicles being weighed. In his response, he said, here's a recent look of their overall data. Over 60% of RVs that we have weighed over the years are overloaded in some weight rating. The breakdown is as follows: 64% of motorhomes, 59% of tow vehicles, 45% of travel trailers, and 52% of fifth wheels. When I read this, I thought the statistic was staggering. To put it in a little bit of perspective, if you're on the interstate and you're passing someone and you know you're not overweight, odds are that that vehicle, that tow vehicle, or that RV is overweight. With that in mind, Nick and I have been wanting to get our RV weighed, our truck weighed, our overall setup weighed, and that's what we did with SmartWeigh. So we're driving up to the pad. We're gonna weigh the truck first, then go back and get the camper. We got the truck weighed, and it's as if you're going on a trip, which we are because we're leaving today. So the dogs are already in. Gas tank is mostly full, and now we're hooking up to the trailer, and we're gonna weigh the trailer with the truck. And just to show our tank levels, we have 8% black, 0% gray, and 38% fresh. We are now headed back for our second weigh with the truck and trailer in tow. All right, pulling up for weigh number 2. This one has the truck and the trailer. Here's a quick look at the scales. They are embedded in the concrete, and you roll over them one axle at a time, and they read the weight. We just finished our SmartWeigh, and we are
Not overweight.
Yay! It was a really interesting process. We weighed the truck first, and then we hitched up the trailer, and then re-weighed the truck, and then weighed the trailer. They did all their fancy calculations and came back and gave us kind of a debrief of how we're loaded. So they do left to right, front to back, and then what we can do to kind of optimize the weight distribution in the trailer. So we'll go over those numbers in detail. I think it was a fantastic experience. I would highly recommend it. SmartWeigh is through Escapees, but you can request it even if you're not an Escapees member. And it's not certified because the CAT scales are certified, so that's more for DOT kind of stuff. But it is, I mean, as far as I know, just as accurate as a CAT scale. There's just no certification that goes along with it. So pretty interesting. I thought it was very interesting.
I think the process was really cool, and then going through all the numbers afterwards was really interesting to me. Because we're not overweight, it was probably more, I was hearing it better. I think if the first thing that was said was you're overweight, I would have stopped listening to certain things and been like, how am I gonna fix this?
So she did give us a printout with all of our numbers and everything on it, which we'll go through. And then one of the cool things that they do there that you don't get at a CAT scale is they measure you. So because we have the bikes on top, that at 10 inches, they add an inch, and it's a sticker that you can put on your windshield so that it's a reminder when you are going through those low clearance bridges of how tall you need to be. Let's take a quick look at the numbers from SmartWeigh. Our first weigh was the truck loaded without the trailer. The steer axle came in at 2,500 on both sides, and the drive axle came in around 2,300 on both sides as well. Our second weigh was the truck loaded with the trailer, as if we were going on a trip. This is where it became a little bit more interesting. Let's start with the truck. The passenger side steer axle is about 150 pounds more than the driver's side. In contrast, the driver's side drive axle is 100 pounds more than the passenger side. Moving on to the trailer. The passenger side weighed a little heavier on both axles, significantly more on the front axle by 350 pounds. This is where SmartWeigh really was beneficial because she was able to kind of talk us through and help us reload and redistribute some of the weight there. Now that we've done the RV SmartWeigh, we are going to check out the CAT scales. Weighing on the CAT scales is a pretty easy process. All you need to do is find your local CAT scale and have the CAT scale app on your phone. You enter your location, then your truck and trailer information, pay for the CAT scale, and it calculates the weight for you. It then calculates your weight records, and you're free to go on about your day. Okay, we weighed on the CAT scales today just so we have an accurate measurement so we can plus and minus some of the tanks. We have 17 black, 8 gray, and 71 fresh. Now let's take a closer look at the CAT scale weights. The CAT scale data is a little more simplistic and only gives you the gross weight of your axles. These numbers are with the truck and trailer loaded. The truck steer axle is 4,560 pounds. The truck drive axle is 5,860 pounds, and the trailer weighed 6,980 pounds. I thought it would be a great idea to look at the CAT scale data alongside the SmartWeigh data. We're just going to look at the gross values so they're a little bit more comparable. So let's take a look at that now. With SmartWeigh, we had the truck steer axle at 4,550 pounds and the truck drive axle at 5,800 pounds for a total weight of 10,350 pounds. The trailer's front axle was 3,650 pounds, the rear axle 2,900 pounds for a total weight of 6,550 pounds. Now for the CAT scale. The truck steer axle was 4,560 pounds and the drive axle was 5,860 pounds for a total of 10,420 pounds. Onto the trailer, there was just one gross weight of 6,980 pounds. It's unfortunate that we weren't able to weigh these both on the same day back to back, so we do have a little bit of a weight differential, but I believe they're both very close numbers, and the day that we weighed the CAT scale, we were about 150 extra pounds on our tanks combined.
I think a lot of the purpose of the video is to talk about, like, is CAT scale or SmartWeigh better?
Yeah. But just to show the differences.
But I think there's not like a better from either one of them. I think it's just get weighed and understand where you are.
Right.
The SmartWeigh probably is a little bit more in depth because you understand your balance left to right, front axle, rear axle on the trailer, things like that.
The benefit of the CAT scale is that you can go just about anywhere and get the CAT scale. So sometimes it's not about like the details because not everyone has access to SmartWeigh or, you know, is near a SmartWeigh, and the CAT scale is right down the road. Yeah. Unless you're in nowhere, Arizona, then it's like 30 miles down the road. But it's much easier. It's much more accessible.
I'm sure you said it at some point in the video, like SmartWeigh is really, there's like 3 or 4 Escapee's RV parks where it's available, and then at Escapee's rallies. There's a new brand that has come out that's doing something very similar where they're weighing every wheel. I don't know the name of it offhand.
I don't know, but yeah, there are other brands that do it. We're Escapee's member, and they had SmartWeigh, and that's where we did the SmartWeigh.
Yeah.
So overall, I think both of them were great experiences. Both of them gave us the knowledge to know that we're under capacity, which is great, and where we can offload some weight and just be better, like stay under those maxes.
Yeah, I think based on our weight, I do want to get rid of some things from the trailer and from the truck. There's been, I think, since the beginning, some things where it's like, we don't really need this. We have it with us. We don't really need it. We need somewhere to do that.
Yeah.
But luckily, to Emily's point, we are not at our capacity. So I feel good about that.
And even now, we do take a little bit of a stance of, if we bring something in, what can we get rid of? Now, there's some things we are carrying that we can't get rid of at the moment, but we do try to keep that in mind, is what we're bringing in versus what needs to go to help reduce the weight, or at least keep the weight the same.
I think ultimately the goal is get weighed, understand where you are, know what your truck's capacity is, know what your trailer's capacity is, and make sure you're under it.
Yeah. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.